everybody! Thursday evening, and here I am again, International Master Sopiko Guramishvili on Chess 24. As you know, today is Tactics Day, so I'm gonna have tactic tests. I'm gonna sit for an hour here and solve the tactics. What are the benefits of the show? You will see how am I thinking, what moves come to my mind first, what motives I see, what motives I don't see, how generally I assess the position, and I'll try to explain everything that comes to my mind. I'll try to give some kind of tips and advices. So wish me luck and let's get started. Before I start, I'd like to tell you that I don't know how to say it, but last 15 minutes or 10 minutes I leave for question and answer. So if you have any questions, please write. Don't be shy, write in the chat. I'll go there, I'll read and answer the questions. Okay, let's get started. If you're new at the show and you don't know how it works, you should go on Chess 24. There is a lot of option of having fun, learning lots of things, watching videos, but this time you're gonna choose the button Learn and then Tactics Trainer. It is very good. I always say in my shows that I always do before the tournaments 5-minute tactic trainer before the game. It's perfect. It keeps you sharp, alert, and definitely the game would go much better than you would expect. All right, let's go for it, and here we go. What can be my first tactic? I hope it won't be very difficult one because sometimes I'm having huge trouble solving the tactics. First, before I start actually, I'd like to make sure that everything goes fine. I know I had a little bit problems on my last show, but I hope that all is fine now. You hear me well, you see me well, and you will see the board very well. So please do write in chat that everything's going fine and I'm heard, I'm seen, and you wish me good luck. Let's see, I'll wait for 20 seconds to read the first command that all is good, and then, okay, everything's okay. So I'm going to start the tactics trainer, and let's see what tactic will be my first tactic. So I'm going to have classical tactic trainer to be able to explain the position, to explain my thoughts. I'm gonna stop after every tactic, but there is an option not to stop and only to stop on wrong answer. This time I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stop after every puzzle, and here we go. I have already the first puzzle. It is white to move. And okay, so what do I look first? Generally, I think chess players' mind is trained so much that if there is mate in 2, mate in 3, you don't even look at the position. You just see it in a second. If there is a fork, very easy one. So in this position, I don't see anything like this at all. So I'm gonna start assessing the position. I will tell you that this bishop is amazing on c4, and ideas can be that I go knight g6. If f takes g6, then there is knight e7 double check, king h8 and knight g6 mate. This looks very good, and what can be the disadvantages of this move? Let's say knight g6, and if rook moves, maybe I can take rook f7. My idea is to open up this bishop and use that the bishop is very, very good on c4. So knight g6, rook e8, rook f7, king f7. What about here? Lots of things look very, very tempting, very, very good. If I play, let's say, knight df4, there is bishop e6, I have an option of queen h5 as well. And other option is, what's my other option? I like queen h5. I would go for knight g6 anyway, because I'm kind of sure that this is the move, so I would play here knight g6, rook e8 and rook f7, and after king f7 I would go for queen h5, which is not correct. It's pity, it's not correct. I had to play queen f3, and is that much easier than queen h5? It didn't kind of enter my mind because first of all there is knight f6. Okay, there's no knight f6. Yeah, king g6 wouldn't work here because there would be mate, and the mate would be maybe from, let's say, knight e7. No, queen e7 is there. This is tiny bit difficult puzzle. I think I will need to show you how it works. I mean, I need to show you on board what moves I make. So there is a very good option on chess24. You can scroll down like I do. You can push this button and analyze the puzzle. Once you have the puzzle analyzed, I mean, you can see the computer assessment and you can actually make the moves. But for now, I don't want to see any computer assessment. I will show you how I think and what I think. Queen f3, it says that this is the move that has to be played. King g6 is not good. First I thought knight e7 and bishop f7, but knight e7, queen e7, and I apparently lose. So I'm going to go for knight f4, king f6, and maybe knight h5. What about knight h5? King. If king e7, it's mate in one. If king g5, h4, king h4, and queen maybe g3. Yeah, this is the mate. And otherwise there is no other option. Quite difficult. It is a straight line, but for chess players generally, it is, if you're not very experienced, it's quite difficult to see such moves. You give up the piece with no clear attack. I mean, of course it's clear, it is mate and it's going to be mate, but you go for it kind of intuitively, or you just calculate from the beginning till the end 5-10 moves, and then you're a superstar. What I thought though was also interesting. I thought to go queen h5. I see the computer assessment, it also wins, but of course queen f3 was much more direct. The move is for black queen, bishop e6, and after bishop e6, knight maybe g e7, king f8, rook f1, knight f6. It's anyway mate, no? Rook f6, g takes f6, queen h6. It's anyway mate, I guess, like queen g6 and where's the mate? Like this. This is the mate. Yep. All right, let's go back to the tactics trainer. I guess I explained this position very well. You should definitely learn on my mistakes. What was my mistake in this position is that I did not go for obvious mate. I was lucky in this position because queen h5 was also winning, and okay, one move later or one move earlier mate, it's not a big deal, but sometimes it's very important because the move might seem very good, but there might not be mate, and it's always better to give mate rather than have queen. Anyway, let's see another tactic, and let's see how it goes. Okay, there we go. We have already another one on the board. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, this pawn is a monster. What else? If there was no bishop on d7, there would be mate on d8. This gives me ideas to somehow distract the bishop, but I guess it's not that easy or that possible. Another thing is that maybe now what black wants is to take on c8, and then this pawn would be vulnerable. What I can do is sacrifice this rook for the bishop. Let's say rook d7, knight d7, and knight b7. This is interesting in sense that if knight stays there, then I have knight d6 mate. But of course knight doesn't stay there. Knight can move anywhere, let's say knight b6 even, or knight f6. And if knight d6 check, there is king d7. So this sacrifice is not that successful, at least for now. And what else, what other ideas I can look for? How can I distract the bishop? Or do I even need to distract it? That's also a good question. Let's say bishop c8 in this moment. Okay, black really doesn't want to play because rook d8, king e7, and rook g8 wins the exchange. But if everything is fine with black, then black would take on g2, afterwards take on c8, and would be very happy. This means that I have to do something very quickly. I don't know why, but I'm still thinking about the sacrificing idea. I'm not even sure that that's how it should be, that this is good, but okay, actually, why not very obvious knight e4? Bishop c8, rook d8, as I said, king e7, rook g8. Otherwise, I'm threatening knight f6 mate, knight d6 mate. There is no chance that, no. That's very, rook d7. Rook d7 is the move, which I saw for the first time, but I didn't see with this idea. This is very pity. It is super pity because I think this is also winning. But of course, as I said, now bishop c8, rook d8, king takes, and rook g8 is not the same as mate. But rook d7, knight d7, and knight e4 is the move. I was only checking the mate on d6 and didn't pay attention to the f6 square at all. And after rook g2, then knight d6 is of course mate. And if knight moves to have free square for the king, then knight f6 would mate. What was my mistake and why I didn't see it? I got obsessed with the idea of giving mate here on d6, and once I like the idea very much, the problem is that I don't see any other moves. I want to make it work, and all my thoughts are connected with this move. I'm trying everything to make it work. Why I didn't see knight e4 after rook d7, if I saw knight e4 first? This is because I saw knight e4. I thought that, yeah, that's the move. I have knight f6 direct threat on f6, and black cannot do anything. He has to take on c8, rook d8, king d7, rook g8, and it satisfied me. I think that this is, of course, winning for white, but there is a very beautiful mate, rook d7, knight d7, and knight e4. So my mistake in this position was that I saw rook d7, knight d7, and I only saw one mate on d6. I didn't look for any other moves. I looked only like knight b7 or knight a6, with the idea of giving mate on c7 or d6. This is why you have to look the whole board all the time. If an experienced player, of course I'm also experienced, but I don't think I'm in great shape at this moment. But when you're very alert, when you solve this kind of tactics all the time, when you see such motifs, then such moves pops to your mind. For example, this move, rook d7, popped into my mind, of course. And after knight e4, that would be a brilliant mate and everything. But once you practice, once you experience it like many times, 10 times, then it would automatically come to your mind as well, and during the game as well. So make sure that you go to tactics trainer and train your tactical skills, because it is very important. Believe me, it's super important. Okay, let's continue. And this tactic, I think I know. I don't exactly remember the moves, but I remember the idea of e6 and taking the queen on c3. That can be one of the ideas. So I remember moves like rook e7 or rook d7. And let's see if it works. If it works at all. What are my move candidates? I have the ideas. Now I have to search for move candidates. Move candidates can be rook h8, of course, can be rook d7, can be rook e7. Rook e7 for me now looks most attractive in sense that, let's say, rook e7, rook e7, rook h8, then I would play, then black has 3 moves actually. One of them is bishop e8, and I don't see... okay, bishop e8 probably doesn't work, or works, because rook e8, then rook e8 is there. Okay, that's also tough. Today I have a very tough day, but it's okay. What about rook h8? Oh, sorry, rook h8. Obviously, rook h8 is not possible because of queen e7 and queen c7 mate. Bishop b7 should be considered. Rook e8, king e8, queen h8, king d7 or f7, and e6. Yeah, I guess that's the right move. Yep, that's correct. Hooray! One correct solution. That's a big achievement. Okay. What is the idea in this position, and how did I solve it? First of all, I remembered some ideas from this puzzle. once again, if you solve and if you have seen lots of such patterns, then of course such moves would come to your mind. I used the method of candidate moves. First move was rook e7, which didn't work because of rook e7, rook h8, bishop e8, and on rook e8 there is rook e8. And this is why I got another idea of rook h8, and once the bishop is distracted on b7, then you take it, give a check on h8. This is very important to keep the queen on the diagonal, so that after king goes, there is a pawn check and you grab the queen. Let's go to another one, black's move, and queen h8. It is... What is the first move that comes to my mind? I see that bishop is great on b7, so first thing that comes to my mind is rook h4, rook h1 mating ideas. It has to be, of course, analyzed. I don't know if it works or not at all, I don't know. And if we start assessing the position, my king for now is quite okay. There are no checks. The bishop is definitely much better than the knight on b4, and my rook is more active on e4. Another idea can be rook e1, rook h1 mate, which gives me an option to distract the rook. Let's say queen d6. Rook d6 is not possible because of rook e1 and rook h1. And if rook goes, then I'll get the knight on b4. I think that's the solution. I would go for it. So I would play rook, queen d6 and here. Okay, very good. So once again, how did I solve the puzzle? I saw the idea. It is obvious for me that there is a big problem on h1. First thing that came to my mind is rook h4 type of move with the mating idea. I saw that it doesn't work because white simply takes it. And then my mind started to check for another mating motive. I saw the back rank problem, and once I saw the back rank problem, it was very clear that queen d6 is double attack on b4 and d1, and taking is very bad because of back rank mate. Okay, let's see another puzzle. Again, some problems with the king, I guess. I think it's Sicilian. It came from Sicilian position, this f3 line with bishop e3 when black goes a5, a4. The bishop on d5 is just perfect. That's why the pawn can be hanging on g6, but if I take it, there is knight d5. And my queen is hanging and I lost the bishop. Rook h8 is a possibility, I think. The problem with for black is that after rook h8, let's say bishop h8 wouldn't work because of queen g6. This time it's with check, it's very important. King f8 runs into queen f7, and bishop g7 I think runs into queen f7, king h8, and rook h1. Soon mate will be there. After rook h8, king h8 of course is possible, and I think bishop f7 just wins because there is mate on h file. Very good. So let's take a look once again at the position and how can we solve the puzzle. It's already clear. It's obvious. We see obvious factors in the position. Obvious factor is that the bishop is perfect on d5. It pins the pawn on f7, and the g6 pawn is hanging. So this is obvious. First thing what we calculate is taking the pawn, but we directly see that it's not possible because the bishop is under attack. Then we can see that the factor that this bishop is hanging is not important, and we can just give a check and calculate the check. Both takings are bad, so then we play the move. Okay, next one. What is the obvious factor in this position? For me it is that if the bishop was not here, there would be knight d3 fork. Can there be something that, let's say if I play bishop d1 is not possible, but of course it doesn't give me anything great as well. Well, maybe it can give me, because let's say it can give me some advantage. Let's say bishop d1, if king b2, bishop e2, rook e2 and knight f3 is there. But of course white can play something like bishop d1, knight d2, bishop e2, rook e2, and not a big deal for what's going on. I will start looking for a bit more how can I use this temporary weakness of d3 square, and then I will start looking for another ideas. The move rook d1 is not good because of bishop d1, knight d3 and simply king d2. What can be good in this position? I can of course play simple check like knight d3, bishop d3, rook d3 and king b2, but I'm not sure that this is the solution. It doesn't give me anything, and maybe black is slightly better, not even, because knight d2, knight d4 is the next move for white, but yeah, something should be winning here. I would still analyze a bit more the option of bishop d1, but knight d2, it can be a real problem. But I don't think, I don't see anything else that gives me some kind of play for a win. And that's very bad information. What about rook d3? Rook d3, bishop d3 is not possible, of course. How to defend the pawn is only with king b2. But let's say rook d3, king b2. If I play now bishop d1, then it is much better version of what I thought. I think I would go for it because it's enough time that I spent on this puzzle. No. Oh, knight c4 is there. Oh my god. Knight c4. Of course. Yeah, once again, why I did not solve this puzzle correctly is that I was too obsessed with the first idea I saw. Probably bishop d1 is not a bad move, and it is also possible to play. The idea, of course, is that bishop d3 is still not possible, and if, let's say, bishop d1, oh, just bishop d1, and I have to take rook d1, and king c2 would not give me anything at all. But of course, king b2, we should always look for checks. I don't know why I didn't remember the checks, but check and king b1, rook c3 just wins the pawn. Very smoothly, very nicely, and unfortunately, this was not good puzzle for me. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Now it is white to move, and I'm 2 pawns down. Though I guess white can win the piece, not really. First thing that comes to mind is, of course, rook d7. Let's say king to e5, and rook d4 is not possible, unfortunately, because of, let's say, check on f4 or rook a3. The rook is hanging, the bishop is hanging on g2, so I should play for a draw. In this type of position, I would think about stalemate. Bishop takes e4, f takes e4, rook e5. King e5 is obvious stalemate, and king to, let's say, c4, then simply rook e4, and we all know that rook against rook and knight is an endgame, though I won it in a very important match, World Championship, when it was World Championship cycle. I was already losing the match, and I was in a must-win situation, and I did win the rook versus rook and knight. I had rook and knight. Okay, let's try if this is the solution. Here, okay, one trick is that we should not take the knight because of rook a4 check, and we should not go king e4 because of rook e2 check. All right, tricky move. So how did I see this stalemate idea? It came to my mind that this king does not have any squares to go, and obviously I realized right away that I should play for a draw in this position, and then the idea of stalemate came to my mind. Okay, should I play for a draw here? I guess not, because there are lots of pieces on the board. And bishop d6, some kind of sacrifice on d5 comes to my mind, even though I'm sacrificing the queen. Let's say knight d5. First of all, knight d5, we should analyze bishop e5, and I have 2 checks, knight f6 and knight e7. What gives me what? We will now discover. So knight d5, bishop e5, let's say knight f6. But then king h8, and I don't have any more checks. But I can win the queen. On d8, let's say rook d8, and knight g4. I have 2 pieces for the rook, which looks quite good, and I am winning another piece or material up for sure. Well, let's say bishop f4, king b1, and rook e8. I won't be material up, that's true. Do I have something more? Let's say bishop e5, knight e7. Does it give me anything more? I don't think so. Okay, knight d5. Now, what about knight d5? That I would think would not work because of, let's say, rook d5, if cd, then queen d5, and black is losing the queen on d8. And if rook d5, then queen h4 or something, it would be a total disaster. I can just take on d6, then on g4, and just piece up. So I think knight d5 is the correct move. Here, knight f6, rook d8, and knight g4. Yeah, that's correct. How did I solve it? Well, it is clear, first of all, if I move the queen, then I would lose a very strong bishop. And usually, knight d5, there were a lot of pins. All my pieces are, this is actually very good position, which makes the saying true: when your pieces are all in the center, all pieces are playing, then it's time for sacrifices. And yeah, it's time for sacrifices. My all pieces work. This is very good on c4. It also works. None of my piece, well, I could say that I would put king on b1 just to be safe, but otherwise all pieces are on perfect places. Okay, let's continue. I'm queen down, but I might win this queen by fork, because the queen and the king are very near to each other, which creates the danger of forks. Knight is very powerful piece. What are the ideas? Let's say c4 can be the move. King b4 is not possible because of knight d5. King goes to, let's say, b6, then knight d5. So king should go to c6. Then I would play, what I would play? b5, king b7. If I play rook c8, king goes to b7, because king d6, there is knight f5. King b7, rook c7, king b7, rook c7, and king can go to, I don't know, a8. Okay. How can I win? It is actually very interesting that if I move my knight, black doesn't have any check. This is very good, good to notice this thing. Does it help me though? I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, obviously I think there is a draw with c4, king c6, rook a6, king b6, rook b6, king b7, sorry, rook b6, but king h7 is there. So I shouldn't play for a draw. Tough. What I don't want to allow, I don't want to give any rook b8 type of check, because then king would go to a file, and it would be much more difficult to win something there. Though, if let's say I give check to b8, king c6 is not possible because of rook b6. Yeah. Let's say c4, king c6, rook a7, with the idea of, no, just king b4. No, queen b4. Okay, rook b8. I don't like king a6. What if we dance with the rook? Rook a5, king c6, rook a6, king b7. Maybe rook a5, king c6, rook c5, king goes to b7, rook c7, but then king b8. And I don't have king rook c8. Very interesting. Very interesting. What can I do? Not so easy. They didn't warn me that today's session wouldn't be that easy. I definitely would like to have your help here, and I would definitely like to read some comments. What are the options? Move candidates. We have lots of move candidates. c4, rook b8, rook a5, knight d5. I don't know, moves like even rook a7 is possible with the idea of c4 and rook c7. But queen just moves, so it wouldn't be that great. I don't see anything. Anything that makes me happy. I don't even know for what I have to play in this position. For a draw, for a win. It's definitely not easy. But I guess you guys are not interested. Is easy or not. You just want me to solve this puzzle. If it was that easy. Okay. Let's say I want to make a draw and I play rook a5, king c6, rook c5, king b7, rook b5, king a file, king goes to a file, then rook a5. If king goes to, let's say, d8, after, so rook a5, king c6, rook c5, king b7, rook b5, king c8, rook c5, king d8. Then that's it. I don't know. c4, king c6. b5, king b7, just. What I don't see. very interesting what I don't see. I would just play with the luck. I would play c4. Yeah, bad luck. My goodness, knight f5. I thought of this move, but I did not see at all that the problem is the queen, not the king. Oh, ay. Okay, look guys, this is very nice to learn from my mistakes and not to make same mistakes. I got obsessed with the idea that the problem is with the king. So all my thoughts went to the king. c4 bothers the king, rook b8 disturbs the king, any move, rook a5 or anything, any moves that came to my mind was around the king. But actually, the king should be on this square just to have fork, because knight f5, you remember I said that after, if my knight moves, there is very good that there are no checks, which means that of course black should be in trouble if I just threaten to take the queen. Queen f7 runs into knight d6. Which are legal moves? Let's say queen e6, knight d4, queen e5, rook a4, queen e4, knight d6, queen b4, rook b8. Fantastic puzzle. I'm just in love with it. It's this such powerful queen can be disturbed by knight, which is also very powerful and my favorite piece. It's just amazing. It's very good puzzle and I really learned a lot from it. Okay, now I'm gonna check one more puzzle and we will have afterwards some question and answer time. So if you have any questions, please do write in the chat, and after this puzzle I'll just go to the chat, I'll see what kind of questions you have and I'll try to answer them. See you soon. Next puzzle is, okay, black's move and rook g. Let's say first move that comes to my mind is rook g3, g takes and queen to d2, sorry, fg, queen d2, and let's say king g1 or king f1, and I want to play king f3. Two mates, king f2, queen f2 and queen d1, so I guess this is correct. If king g1, again king to f3, but then queen g2 is the only thing that mates, yeah, and king h1, just king h3, yeah, I think that's correct. Here king f3. Oh, finally one very nice puzzle. Yeah, here it was just desperate situation, and the thing is that black king is very safe after king f3 because there is no check on c3. The pawns are perfect, it's like a fortress to the king, and there is no defend from queen f2, queen d1 and queen c1 mates. Three mates at the same time is quite a lot. Also there is mate of queen e2, queen g2 and queen g2, queen e2. So lots of mates there. Okay, as I promised you, I will go to chat and see what kind of questions. Did you help Anish to prepare for the speech test tonight? Well, not really know, but I think he's well prepared. So I'm of course rooting for him. And well, if we count the moral help, support help, I'm always there, rooting for him and always giving the right energy and good vibes. Let's see what's the next question. Can you do a puzzle again when you give a wrong answer? Oh, that's Yako. Hi there. I don't think that it's possible, unfortunately. But because sometimes you have a puzzle, you don't you don't do it correct. But of course then it's possible that it pops up again. So that's why you don't have possibility to redo it. What's the next question? What are your ambitions as a chess player to become GM or world champion? I think everyone's dream is to become world champion, though it's only for the special ones. Of course, that's the highest dream I have, but I have to be realistic. First, I have to have short-term type of dreams. So my goal is just to raise my rating. I was 2450 and I dropped very much. I have now 2370. So I would like to cross the 2400 rating in the near future. And of course I would love to become Grandmaster as well. So will you help him whisper him the winning moves? Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. How much has Banter Blitz are the shows you do on Chess24 helped you as a chess player? Has social chess interaction helped you? A lot, very much. I really like it, and it's such time now that I don't have much tournaments to play. It's quite busy time for me as well. As you know, I have a wonderful kid, Daniel, and he needs a lot of attention. That's why I don't have lots of time for chess or for tournaments. But I try anyway every day to spend some time on chess, to read something, to solve something, and these shows help me a lot to be in shape, to talk to you guys, to feel support from you, and also to train, also to play Blitz. I completely love Banter Blitz. It's one of my favorite shows that I did on Chess24. And of course, a tactics trainer is also very important. It might be a little bit boring than a Banter Blitz, but for you, and a bit more difficult for me. But yeah, I love it. I completely love it. Do you watch any TV series? Does Anish do? Anish did watch some TV series, but I think he did not watch it already for a long time. He quit, and I never watched TV series. I was never into it actually. I just think that it takes a lot of time, and there are much more things to do in this world rather than watching TV series. Of course, no offense to anybody who is watching TV series. It gives sometimes there are lots of TV series, lots of interesting TV series, and lots of things that you can learn from it, but it's just not my thing. What do you prefer, engine or chess book? I definitely prefer chess book. Engine, of course, is very important in chess players' life, and it is super, just super machine. Nobody can live without engine nowadays. I think if you want to be professional chess player, then you have to use the engine. But I am just very lazy to sit there and watch what it is saying and what kind of moves I should make to wait. I just love to read something which is already, there is a conclusion and there is some kind of position and you have to train yourself. So yeah, I'm in for chess books. What was Lawrence Trent's reaction about the video where you imitated him? It was quite a nice feedback we got from him and from Jan, so I think it was all okay. How can you avoid time pressure? One method to avoid time pressure is just to set a task for yourself that I'm not going to think more than 15 or 20 minutes. Then whatever conclusion you have on this 20 minutes for a move, let's say, in critical moments, then you just make it and you avoid time pressures. But another way is to be very good in blitz. So you have to play lots of blitz. So when you're in time pressure, your mind works differently. Your whole biology is different actually, because you're more focused. You have more concentration on the board, and it happens very often that opponents think that she's in time pressure or he's in time pressure, so any move I make, it's just gonna be good. She or he will lose on time. But be very careful when your opponent is in time pressure, because she or he actually sees much more than you do. She's more concentrated, she's more focused, and don't relax just, and don't let it flow. Who would you like to play and why? There are lots of players I would like to play. There are lots of players from the past. There are lots of players from the present and not yet known from the future. From the past, I really would like to play Capablanca, because I think he is my favorite world champion after Garry Kasparov. I would like to play Garry Kasparov as well. I would like to play Judith Polgar. I would like to play Anish Giri in a classical tournament. And there are lots of players who I would like to play. So let's see, next question. Sopiko, what do you play against the Aljochin? I am experimenting in this e4 line, so I didn't really cover all side lines. I think that there should be a lot of good variations against Alekhine, because it's just not the most famous opening, and I don't think it's good for black. But I know many players who played with black very successfully, and but all what I heard from them is that they are trying to equalize, and they are barely equalizing in every line. It's very pity that I cannot give any advice. I cannot give any concrete line because it's not my specialty, e4, and I don't have much experience in this opening. Sorry for that. Did Lawrence even notice that it was not himself? Yeah, of course he did. How much time shall a player put in a complicated position in a tournament game? 30 or 45 minutes, or Grishuk style? I cannot advise this. It depends on the player. It depends on the position. It depends how complicated it is. Sometimes it happens that the position is very complicated, but it is you can play it intuitively. Sometimes it is not possible to calculate, and sometimes it happens that you just should really try. If there is a clear way, if there is a clear cut to winning, then just spend as much time as you calculate the winning line, you're sure, and just go for it. What is the secret to keeping girls interested in chess for the long time? I've taught my 6 granddaughters, but it's hard to keep them interested. They are afraid of playing in tournaments. Thank you. Well, how old are your grandchildren? I know that sometimes, generally it was like this, that in my class, when where I was going, girls were very very good till certain age, like let's say teenage age, much better than boys. But then they stopped improving, and also then boys became much stronger. The secret of keeping them interested depends on their age. If they are teenagers and they are not interested in playing chess professionally, then I don't think you can do anything, because they already have their own opinion. They already know what they want in their life, and if chess is not there, then there's nothing to do. But if you have small grandchildren and you want to keep them interested, I think you should just give them a lot of puzzles, to make them interested, to make them play, or if they cannot play very much, then let them win, let them feel the taste of winner, and maybe they will like it, then they will become more competitive. Play with them, blunder something, and then when they see it, you're like, wow, that, yeah, you're doing great. And yeah, I think it's very good method to keep them interested, and then if they play the tournament, they will experience it. And you have to help them experience the loss and the win as well in the tournament. You just have to be there to support. What is the method? What is your method preparing for a tournament? Depends on the tournament. If I know my opponents, then I am looking at their games. I'm looking what kind of openings I can play. If I don't know and it's just open, I'm just reading books, solving puzzles, and the usual things. Are you and Anish the strongest chess couple rating wise? Others in the list. I don't think we are the strongest. We are one of the stronger guys, but I don't think we are the first ones. There are lots of couples who have higher ratings, and I think Wojtaszek Kaszlinskaya is there. For a long time, Zhukova and Grishuk were the first, but I don't know what's the situation now, so I don't think we're the strongest ones. Yeah, Kostyuk is also married. What about a married couple battle? That would be a very interesting one. If somebody has some couple tournament idea, I would love to play. What is your suggestion to learning rook end games? They are among complicated chess themes to learn. It is very difficult to have any suggestion there. There are just positions that you have to learn by heart, and there are the positions that you just have to feel. There are basic positions that you have to know it, even if they wake you up in the night and tell you like what's the solution there you have to know. I would really recommend the 100 end games you have to know, and it's a very good one. I think it is from Spanish Grandmaster Jose de la Riva. It's very very good one. You can choose e5, c4, d4, and ed after the d6 for positional play. That I didn't get. Probably I missed something. How do I choose a playstyle that suits me? I like much playstyles to look at, but can't choose. I think you just have to play. You have to practice a lot, and you have to feel what style you like. If you play lots of games, for sure you will understand your style. What is the most interesting chess game you've ever played? I think I really love the recent game from World Championship cycle against Sarasadat. The first round, the very first game, I think I played it very nice. It was very interesting, and I would consider it one of my best games ever. how do you deal with the losses? It is very painful, and it is quite difficult to overcome, but you have to. There's no other way. Much worse things happen in life, and just be positive, keep moving on. Any video series you're coming up with? Georgian Great's video is awesome. Thank you very much. Yes, I am planning to do some video series this summer, and I'll let you know very soon what it's going to be about. And I hope that I'll be able to do some video series, and it will be out very soon. Latwin asks, which questions would you like to get? Yeah, I think there are no more questions anymore, and also it's time for me to wish you a very nice evening and very nice maybe games of Anish. You know that he's playing today against Wesley, so I wish him good luck officially. I'll be of course supporting him. I hope that you can support him as well. And my next show, Banter Blitz, will be next Thursday. I don't know the time yet. I'm moving from 6 to 4, from 4 to 6, sometimes 3. So make sure you're just alert, and you're gonna stay tuned for next Thursday. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for solving the puzzles with me. Wish you a very nice evening and see you soon. See you next week. Bye bye.